So here we have an AMF garden tractor, and I'm going to show you how to replace this keyway that goes onto the rear end. So first, you gotta want to jack it up. I just put it right back here and jacked it up, and then we're gonna have to take these bolts out for the wheel weight, take the wheel and tire off, and then that'll expose where we need to put the pulley. So we'll get to that. So I got the nuts broke loose, and it's a 3/4 socket. Got my 1/2-inch drive. So I'm going to take these off. You got these 2 washers. Well, this one has 1 washer. Usually there's 2. Oh yeah, there's 2. The lock washer. Now you want to be careful because it's a wheel weight. It's heavy. Don't want to drop it on your toes. So I'm going to have to put the camera down to get this off without making a big hassle. You can see it already wants to come off. There's that last nut right there. I gotta come off. It's gotta come off. Okay, so I got the wheel weight off. Here's the wheel weight. So basically it just slides on these studs that come in from the back, and they go into these little grooves right here, and then you tighten them up with the nut. So now what we're gonna do is take all 5 of these bolts out, and then the tire should just come right off. So I went ahead and broke these bolts loose. They're 5/8. You're going to need an extension because put them on there. You don't want to be hitting the tire. Now, when you're tightening these up, you got to go in a star pattern. When you're taking them out, it doesn't really matter. But this is the one I did last, and it's going to be a little tight because all the weight of the tractor is down sitting on it. So what you're going to do is jack it up now. Just enough to get that tire off the ground. As you can see now, the tire ain't touching the ground. We can go ahead and continue taking these out. Now this is the second time I've had this apart, replacing that keyway. So these come out relatively easy. And I didn't over tighten them like an idiot, because I knew that keyway was going to break again eventually. So I didn't over tighten them. And I don't use Loctite, and I don't use, any of that. Just put them in there where they need to go. Now this last one's going to be a little tight, so I'll get it out and we'll get back with you. Okay, so I got all the bolts out. And then this tire comes right down like that. And you can see the hub where it all bolts onto, and then where the shaft goes into the rear end. Now right there is what broke it. Turn this. See, right there is a slot for the keyway to fit. And the pulley slides on here, and this belt goes around, and this turns the transmission and the rear end and stuff. Well, unfortunately, this is the only thing holding this on here. There's no moon clip, there's no Carter key or anything like that, which, in my opinion, there probably should be. But, it is what it is. So we take our pulley, put our pulley on there, belt out of the way. We're going to need to first put the keyway in the shaft, and then line up the little slot. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little slot in there for the keyway to go over, and then you just put the pulley on. And there, it's fixed. You put the belt on and everything. There's nothing else holding this pulley on. Alright, so I got my drag light so you can see. Here's our keyway. So what you want to do, just slide it in that slot right like that. Clean up some of this garbage that's around here. You don't want that getting in between your pulley and shaft. So you just take your pulley, slide it. You can see the groove in it. You want to line that groove up with your keyway and slide it on there. Okay, so the pulley's on. You can see there's the slot for the keyway to go in. Slid right up over. Just got to tap it on a little bit. Get the rest of the way on. And now we just need to tighten down this set screw right here. Clean some of that gunk out of there and tighten it up so it has a snug fit. And we're done. So you can tell that it's on here good if you grab a hold of it and pull on it. It's not coming off. So it's on there good. Unless your keyway breaks and then it's going to fall off again. So to get this tire up on here, I just put my feet here like this and picked up on it. Got the holes lined up, got the first bolt started. Then I came down here and did this one, then this one, and this one. This is my last one. Now the reason I went into a crisscross pattern, if you remember I said you should do that, because when you tighten something down, if you just go in a row like this, it'll be crooked on there. It'll set in there crooked because you tighten one side too soon than the other. So if you tighten it in a crisscross pattern, it'll suck the tire into the hub evenly and it won't wobble. It'll be on there nice and smooth and even. Okay, after we got them finger tight, we take our ratchet and we tighten them up. Just snug them up right for now until you get all of them snugged up, and then you can go through and tighten them down. I'm not going to torque them to spec with a torque wrench because, well, it's a garden tractor. I don't necessarily care. It's not like I'm going 40 miles an hour down the road. I'm going 5 miles an hour through the yard. Alright, so with that part done, now we can put the wheel weight on. Which they can be a pain sometimes, but it just takes a little bit of wiggling around to get them up on there. So these bolts, see this stud right here? It'll fit down inside this slot, and then you put the nut on. So what I'll do is I'll pick this up. I'll probably get the top started, these two top pieces started, and then I'll wiggle them around to get these two bottom pieces started. Okay, so the wheel weight's on, nuts are tightened up, and we're done. Let the jack down so I could tighten these up, and yeah, we'll go out and test her, see how she does. Alright, so I'll start her up for y'all. It's in neutral. I'll push the throttle halfway up. We'll give it half choke. Turn the key.